Now this is the final policy, which is information security policy. So as of now, we have seen physical security policy, password policy, access management policy. So these are all the details of the policy we have already created. Information security policy, we create it at very last when we create all the policies. So once we are done with them, then we just create information security policy. And this policy contained all details, high-level details of these policies. So let's go with document. So here we have document control page, then confidentiality statement, and these are the contents. So as I already told you that this contains all the details of the previously policies. So we have HR security policy, asset management, access control policy, physical security policy, cryptography policy. So you can see we have all the details of the policy which we already created. So this is a high-level document for all the policies. Now, if any of the customer or client is asking to share a generic information security document, then you can share this document, this one document with them. So objective is to preserve confidentiality, integrity, and availability of all the company assets. And this is the roles and responsibility for generic one. Scope, it applies to all employees, management, company owners, as well as partners. Now, policy principles. So this information security principles are based on industry best practices and compliance requirement, including. So we are doing SOC 2, so we have the SOC 2, we have ISO 27001, and these are two of the regulatory requirements. So as we are dealing with Malaysian-based entity, we follow PDPA Act, which is Personal Data Protection Act, and Bank Negara Malaysia Risk Management in IT. So these are regulatory requirements. And PCI DSS, as this entity deals with majorly banking clients. So that's why we have PCI DSS here. So the core principles are to protect confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the company's assets. Okay. Now, governance and organization. So here we have the organizational structure, all C-level profiles, then the senior managers, then tech leads, and it's reporting to employees. So this is the usual structure. And here we have, this is steering committee. And the steering committee, we have all C-level profiles, information security manager, might be some IT managers and other executives. So we have this steering committee. The committee is responsible for these roles, okay, these tasks here: establishing management commitment and strategic direction, approving security policies, review and provide oversight of security risk. So all these are for steering committee. Then we have information security officer, and these are the details of the responsibilities. Then we have information owners. We have information owners or data owners or asset owner. Here we have IT and information security teams, management and leads, and all employees and third parties. So the roles and responsibilities are defined here as per the organization structure. Then we have human resource security or HR security. So before hiring any candidate, what are the pre-employment checks they do? During employment, what are the things they do or they have on the employees? So these are the things. And apart from that, we have education, qualification. So this is from prior to employment. They check for education, qualification, and experience. They check for references. So CTOS check. So CTOS is a credit score check for the employees. So this is for Malaysia. And for other countries, it may depend. So the credit scoring agencies would be different for other countries, right? So they do these kind of checks for a background verification prior employees joining the organization. During employment, they follow this, like they do provide trainings on information handling, classification, secure use of IT systems and data, social engineering risk. So as a part of information security awareness training, secure coding practices. So they have during employment these tasks for the employees. And once employees leave the organization, so these are the checklist. So deletion of the listed items, so company software, virtual machines, removal or disabling the email access card, business card, so all the things that they can care after termination. And these are the related policies. So all the HR related policies would come under here, which is HR policy, acceptable usage policy, code of conduct policy, vendor management, privacy and confidentiality policy. So all policy are under HR. For asset management, this is next policy. So we classify the assets in 4 types, which is highly confidential, internal, and public. In the more details you can find under data classification policy. So more details onto asset inventory and management. So we have asset management policy here, secure disposal and reuse. So we have a media sanitization policy or disposable policy. Also we have data retention policy. So for access controls, so how we are giving access to employees or vendors, we have access management policy, user access controls, and we have your password policy. And for remote access, so all these things are listed under access management policy. For physical and environment security, so we have physical access controls, secure perimeter protection, supervising and monitoring visitor access and movement. So all this comes under physical security policy. Equipment protection, so UPS, fire detection and prevention, heating, ventilation and air conditioning, which is HVAC. So all this we already discussed in physical security. For cryptography policy, we have encryption and key management, digital signature. So all details we have discussed in encryption policy. And for operation security, protection for malware. So we have endpoint anti-malware protection. We have endpoint security policy for this. For backup management, we have data backup policy. For logging and monitoring, so we have type of logs, centralized log management. So basically we have SIM tools like QRadar, Splunk, Azure Sentinel, some other tools for logs collection, and they can send some alerts to the team. For change and release management, we have change management policy. And for communication and network security, we have network security policy, how we're taking care of firewalls, IDS and IPS, network segmentation, so all of them. For data transmission security, email and web security, so all detailed out under network security policy. System acquisition, development and maintenance. So we are following secure SDLC, where we have integrated SAST, DAST or static application security test, dynamic application security test, threat modeling as best practices, secure coding practices, and these are some of the things we take care during SDLC. For outsourced development, so these are the requirements. For supplier management, we have vendor management policy. As a part of supplier or vendor management, we do due diligence before selecting any vendor. We ask them for certification if they have any of the certificate like ISO or SOC2. We may ask for some documents as a proof. So more details for this policy is in the vendor management policy. For security incident management, on how to respond to any information security incident. we have detailed out under incident response plan and procedure. Business continuity and disaster recovery. So we have a separate policy for that. A short details here. And for more details, you can follow this document. Security monitoring and testing. So technical monitoring. So for technical monitoring, we can use SIM tools, IDS and IPS tools, for firewalls, network and host-based security monitoring. So we may have developed our own internal application monitoring. So for technical monitoring, we use these controls. For vulnerability management, we have periodic vulnerability assessment scans and patch management process in place, risk evaluation and mitigation. So this is onto vulnerability management, audits and assessment. So we compliance audits for the standards with ISO and SOC2. So external third-party audits and certifications. So we get from another third party. Physical security assessment of facilities. So it may be a physical audit report. Social engineering test and phishing exercise. So there are some tools like GoFish or KnowBefore, some other tools which assist you to do a phishing exercise ethically on your employees and can get the results. So you can follow such tools for phishing exercise. Security awareness and training. So it should be at least once in a year and whenever a new employee joins a company. So we have role-based security training as well as a normal security awareness program. For risk assessment methodology, we have risk management policy. And that's it. So we have till now discussed all the policies which we have covered for SOC 2. And this information security policy should be created at last when we have all the policies and procedures documented. Now that's onto information security policy. Other items like employee training and awareness, compliance and monitoring, escalation metrics, policy exceptions. So all these are generic items. That's a conclusion. So that's onto information security policy. If you have any feedback, do comment below. Thanks for watching.